agent and home locator. And I'm going to be talking about the home buying process. Yes, the home buying process. So, if you are going to be working with me, I do provide this amazing brochure guide that is a step by step. You also get an email if you are one of my clients. And that email is going to be very detailed of giving you all the steps. So you would check them off one by one and you would know to move to the next step of what to expect in the process. Okay. So as a home buyer, you want to compare lenders. Okay. So a lender is going to be where you're going to be getting the money from to get the home, unless you are a cash buyer or somebody's going to be buying the house for you. And okay. So you want to compare lenders because sometimes there's different rates that you could possibly get and different terms and different programs that you may qualify for. So versus say if you went with a big bank versus a mortgage company, when you go into a big bank, a lot of times they, and I'm not a loan officer, definitely don't quote that, but a lot of times they'll give you the rate of the day. So versus giving you specific rates that each individual person qualifies for. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much. If you are joining me live, I am talking about the home buying process. Okay. Um, and definitely you want to get pre-qualified. So when you are pre-qualified, that is going to help you be able to start shopping for your new home. Okay. Once you have that pre-qualification, you really want a pre-approval where you turn in all your documents and start getting the actual number that you will qualify for when it comes to the home. Okay. And then obviously you want to choose a real estate agent. Now, I know a lot of people, when you are working with a real estate agent, that is a professional. So they're going to be sending you homes via your email, or you're also going to be going out to tour homes. So they're going to want you to sign, that you're working with them. Hi, hello so much. Hi, Tia. Thank you so much for joining. Where are you joining from? Where are you watching from? I'm here in Arizona. Um, and also, you're going to want to, once you find your home, that agent is going to help you submit an offer. Okay. So what that means is we are going to go to the seller and we're going to try to get, possibly right now, because it's a buyer's market, we're going to see if they'll cover closing costs. We're going to see what concessions we can get covered, even when it comes to repair. Some sellers are willing to cover, to actually give you money, and then you go get the repairs done. So that's why you want to get your home inspection. That's the next step. Okay, you get that home inspection done, and hopefully you choose a reputable inspector that is going to be thorough and give you the full rundown. Now, an inspector can't determine everything, but they are checking for a lot of things. You're in Australia. Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you. So yeah, they are checking they're checking appliances, they're checking the wiring, they're checking plumbing, the roof. You want to get a termite inspection. They're checking septic, the water lines, making sure that everything, the water pressure, they're doing all those things for you. And then possibly you can present it to the seller and say, hey, can we get these things fixed or repaired? Or is it possible that we can get some money off? Okay. Now, if it's something minor, guys, unless it is a brand new home, it's going to have some wear and tear. It's going to have some minor things going on with the home. So that is just one of those things. Okay. Unless you're buying a brand new home, and generally they will cover most things. Okay. If it is a new build home. Okay. And then basically at that point, we have get the appraisal order. Make sure that the home comes in at the value. Okay. So if it comes in low, guess what? We're probably your agent. That's why you want to make sure you choose the right agent, and an agent that is going to work for you is going to have to go to that seller and say, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, my buyer would like to see if we could get you to come down on this house. Okay, so I know you're wanting 550 for it. The appraisal came in at 530. Are you able to reduce your asking price for the home? You know, sometimes that's a big ask. Sometimes they're not willing to. Or if my buyer really wants that house, they may need to bring more money to the table. So it could get to that. So it could come to that. So we just always have our fingers crossed. You know, that's kind of one of those things that we do. So that's why you want to make sure that you have an agent that is on your team that is going to be working for you in all those negotiations. Okay. Once you decide you want this house, generally the seller wants you to put down 1% earnest money deposit, and that's going to be going toward the purchase price of your home. So say you put down 3.5%, but that money's going to go toward the purchase, or sometimes it's a couple thousand, but you do want to have some money saved when you are going to be purchasing a home. Okay. Now, sometimes the seller will cover a warranty, but generally the home warranty is on the buyer. A home warranty is critical. Okay. I would say it's definitely critical because you never know what could come up, and it could definitely be worth it in the event that it's needed. Okay. Now, let's talk about title. That title company is going to do everything. They're going to check that title on the home, make sure the home is clear and everything is no clouds. They're going to make sure that no liens and judgments out there on the property. Like, they're going to be cleaning and checking everything. I mean, scrubbing, guys. That's why you want to make sure that you are with an agent that knows which title company that actually does the work. So it's not always just choosing the right agent, but choosing the right agent that has connections to the right people, okay, and resources, because so many things could happen. But choose the right agent. Okay, if you're in Arizona or you're relocating to Arizona, I would love to be your agent. Okay, so if you are planning your relocation and you want one of these guides to be sent to you, do me a favor and send me a DM. Send me a DM or email me. My information is attached in the bio, and I will get this out to you and tell you what to avoid during the loan process, some things to avoid. So, like, don't change jobs, okay? Don't make any large purchases. Don't pay off any accounts right now, okay? Don't switch banks. Don't move money. None of that, okay? So generally what you're going to need is, they want to know where you've lived for the past 2 years. You're going to need your ID, driver's license, your address, of the employers, 2 most recent pay stubs, W-2, tax returns if you're self-employed, past 2 years, bank statements. Make sure that you can produce those things, all of your names, account numbers, and any real estate that you own, any property, like boats, any of that. And obviously, if you've been divorced, they're going to want possibly divorce decrees and all of that. So it is something that you definitely want to make sure that you are choosing the right agent, because the agent, if you don't have your own lender, the agent will get you to the right lender that will get all those documents from you to get you to the finish line, okay? So that's the key, and that's the goal, is to get you to the finish line, okay? So if you plan to relocate, or if you're already in Arizona, you're looking for a home, like I said, even the terms here, there's a glossary of all the terms as a first-time home buyer that we provide to you. So, and these are things that will come up potentially. Not all of them will come up, but potentially, potentially. So there's this talks about all the different types of deeds, just terms that, so for instance, let's see, cloud on title. Okay, so it's an irregularity of the chain of title that could affect the interest of the owner. So, I am seeing and hearing so many scams out there from people that had their property taken from them, and all of that. So, or somebody put something in their name that they didn't know that they had. So that's why, that title company, guys, before you close, they are going to do the work for you. So most definitely make sure that you are connecting with the right agent when you're going to make the biggest purchase of your life. Generally, it's the biggest purchase of your life, unless you're buying a big business or something like that. I don't even know any cars that are valued more than a house right now. I think the average house right now in Arizona is over 500,000, the average selling price. So I don't know where you are, but what's the average price of a home where you are? So like I said, homes are going for more than cars. So I also want to add to that, if you're planning to buy and you don't have a car note right now, start saving, because it's a possible chance that if your car is still getting you around, if it's still getting you from point A to point B, guys, it's time out to be living in the, I'm trying to look good. I want to have the coolest and latest car when, if your car is getting you around, if it's a few years old and you're going to have it paid off soon, or if it's already paid off, you are in a great position to own real estate. And let me tell you, that is something that you can pass down versus an automobile. A car is going to depreciate, it's going to break down, it's going to end up torn up in the salvage shop one day, and you unfortunately cannot pass a house down to your family, or to if you just want to be able to have it and maybe generate income from it one day. Maybe you want to travel the world and you could have this home and be able to collect income. Okay, so having a home does have its perks. Okay, ownership does have its perks. So if you decide you want to um, house hack, and that is to rent out a room, you could do that. You could definitely do that. So whether it's to someone or to a family member that needs somewhere to live temporarily, it's a possible chance that you'd be able to be that one to have a home, because if you're renting, you don't have that freedom to be able to have people come and stay with you, even if it's you're charging them or not. A lot of them just don't allow the subletting of the leasing, of getting people in there. Okay, so any questions at this point? Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, hopping on. I just wanted to let you know that I am here for you, whether you're looking to buy, sell, lease in Arizona. I would love to be your agent. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day, whatever time it is where you are, and I'm going to shut this down. Be blessed.